Deep in the basement of Saifair Shalom, there's a dusty library that's really the home of a magical bookcase to another world, where Micah and Mary and their friends are home, where there's wolves and hares living fairy tales, Mr. Saifair, the golem, and glass shoe sales. So come join us for the magic and mystery, maybe even a bit of Jewish history. Auntie PJ's here to give us a taste of all the adventures beyond the bookcase, beyond the bookcase, beyond the bookcase.
Well, that was quite the adventure. You wouldn't think the life of an onion farmer would be so mysterious and dangerous.
You can say that again, PJ. But hey, we not only made it out alive and ate a ton of onions in the process, they also sent us home with a lot more onions. Onion rings tonight?
Judging by the weight of these bags of onions, onion rings every night for the next few weeks. Hey, do you smell something, Elijah? Something delicious?
I do! It smells like an open fire and spices and... I think it's coming from over there.
Look! It's the Three Bears' house.
And right outside, there's Goldilocks with her BFF, Baby Bear.
Hello over there.
Is that you, PJ?
And Elijah.
Oh, I haven't seen you two in ages. Welcome, welcome. What brings you to our neck of the woods?
Adventures with an onion farmer.
That seems about right.
Could we put down these bags of onions? They're getting really heavy.
Oh, of course. Set them over here on our prep table with the other ingredients.
Phew! Thanks. What are you two cooking over the fire? Looks like you've got a stew going.
We do. It's a Shabbat lunch dish called harissa, our family's special recipe. It's traditionally made by the Jewish people of Tunisia, well, in PJ's world anyway. It's sometimes called chamin, too. Cham means hot, or harissa.
Different communities have different Shabbat dishes. Ashkenazi Jews have cholent, which is a stew usually made with beans and potatoes, and Iraqi Jews make tibit, which typically includes chicken, rice, and potatoes. They're all delicious in their own way.
Well, we've just finished adding the beef, and we're about to add more ingredients.
It smells wonderful already. Can we help?
Of course. Can you pass the spices? We'll need the cinnamon, cumin, and paprika.
Don't forget the garlic.
Oh, I could never forget the garlic.
Would onions be helpful? We have plenty to share.
That would be great. Here, you can slice them up while Elijah adds in the garbanzo beans, barley, and whole eggs. Oh, and can you grab a few dried tomatoes? We hang them outside to dry. They're right next to the window over there. There are a million ways to make harissa. But funny enough, the Three Bears like theirs more on the soupy side.
Less like porridge. We've had enough porridge drama.
Oh, same, bestie. Same.
This is looking great. Could I steal a little taste when it cools down?
Oh, actually, it's not done yet. Boiling it over an open fire is just the first step. Next, we seal it with a little bit of dough. Oh, it really locks in the moisture and flavor.
Plus, nothing unkosher can fall in.
Then we take it to a community oven called a kusha, where it will continue cooking overnight. After Shabbat services end tomorrow morning, we'll pick up the stew and take it home for lunch.
Oh, would you two like to join us for services? Then you'll be able to try the harissa you helped make.
That sounds amazing.
Oh, in the meantime, want to snack on some fresh honeycomb and berries?
Anything that isn't an onion sounds great to me.
Hallelujah, Nagila, Nagila, Hallelujah, Nagila. Pazeman, 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 Hageula. Pazeman, 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 Hageula.
What a great Shabbat service. I really worked up an appetite, too. Can't wait to taste that harissa.
You're going to love it.
Wait, are we allowed to carry it back to the house? I thought we couldn't do work on Shabbat.
Smart thinking, PJ. Although people don't typically work on Shabbat, and that includes lifting and carrying, we can carry the harissa pot back home because our part of the woods has an eruv, a string stretched from tree to tree that designates our area as a community. Ah, there's the kusha, just up ahead. Now, I'll just take out our pot and, Goldilocks, do you remember which one of these was ours?
It's the blue one with the lid.
They're all blue ones with lids?
Uh-oh. How are we going to figure this out?
Mr. Saifair, Mary quite contrary. Fancy seeing you here.
Oh, hello, everyone. I didn't think I'd need to have social interactions. I just wanted lunch. I'm in a terrible hurry to go home and eat my harissa all by myself, in peace and quiet. So, if you can all just move out of the way and let me get my big blue pot.
Actually, Mr. Saifair, my harissa is in a big blue pot, too.
So is ours.
Well, this is quite the pickle.
Oh, wait. I have an idea.
What else is new?
Why don't we have Goldilocks try each harissa to see which one's theirs?
Oh, good idea. I'm something of a super taster. I have a really high concentration of taste buds on my tongue. I'm sure I could pick our harissa out of a lineup.
Right, just like the whole porridge situation.
We don't really talk about that, Elijah. Old wounds.
Plus, that wasn't really a taste thing.
Oh, sorry.
So, she's going to taste my harissa? That means less for me.
I'll take the teeniest bite, I promise.
Oh, fine.
Okay, break the dough seals and bring on the harissas.
Okay, here's harissa number 1.
This harissa is too thick, but I detect notes of basil and... Ooh, is that cardamom? Yes. And maybe just the slightest hint of lavender.
That must be mine. I love adding herbs from my garden, but I wouldn't say it's too thick. I like a little extra barley, so for me, it's just right.
Bring on the next bowl.
This harissa is too spicy. Does anyone have some water?
Here you go.
That's mine. Since my beloved horseradish isn't exactly a traditional harissa ingredient, I add a little harissa paste. It's a dried chili paste, but the name is just a coincidence.
So you put harissa in the harissa?
Darn tootin', and, to be honest, also a little horseradish. I just can't help myself. I love that horseradishy kick, and I wouldn't call it too spicy at all. For me, it's just right. Brings a tear to your eye.
Bowl 3, coming up.
Oh, this is ours. Beefy and very onion forward.
Big surprise. You know how the process of elimination works, right?
It's just right. Well, it's just right for me, anyway.
Well, I think we've learned that there's no real right way to make harissa. All families and communities
And giant bookworms.
and giant bookworms have their own preferences and favorite ingredients and special recipes. And as long as it's warm and comforting and perfect for sharing, well, that's all that matters.
Oh, that gives me a wonderful idea. What if we take all of these harissas to the picnic table over there and share them? That way we can all try new versions.
That sounds like so much fun. I've never had beef harissa.
And I've never tried adding basil. Mr. Saifair, are you in? Personally, I'd like to try your spicy harissa.
Sharing isn't really my strong suit, and neither is Shabbat lunchtime conversation.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask you about avocado trees. I'd love to add them to my garden, and I know you've had a lot of success with Shirley.
Oh, I have plenty to say about the cultivation of avocado trees. It's all about the soil, you see. You'll need 1/3 organic material, 1/3 coarse sand,
Why
and...
don't we continue this chat over lunch? Before the harissas get cold?
Okay.
And Mr. Saifair, what are your thoughts on adding sliced avocado to your harissa?
Funny, you should mention that. I actually just wrote up an op-ed for my favorite periodical, Avocado News Weekly, about that very subject.
Now this is just right.